Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Straight Outta Boston, and today I'm back here for episode number 45 of my Jim Lowry Road to the Show series here on MLB 16 The Show. So taking a look at some of the season statistics as we wrapped up the regular season. Our first half season, I guess you could say, with the St. Louis Cardinals. Of course, we were traded in the middle of the year, and you can see it was definitely a career year for Lowry. The first year he got his ERA under 3. It was actually a 2.57. He led the league in walks allowed, and by that he had the least amount of walks allowed among starters who were qualified. And he was top 8 in pitching WAR, so that was pretty encouraging. And, he really became one of the game's best starters this season, so I was pretty pleased with how this season turned out. I think especially the trade to the NL definitely helped. We played very well towards the end of the season and really helped the Cardinals make that push to the playoffs. So I'm pretty pleased as we're going to be taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers in the wild card round here. It's going to be Jim Lowry versus Clayton Kershaw. So we're going to have to be on our A game here tonight to try and win this game. Kershaw's going to put up a big performance. I know that he has a bit of a checker past, I guess you could say, in the playoffs, although maybe that's not the right way of putting it, but definitely, kind of certainly has not lived up to his regular season billing in the playoffs, especially against the St. Louis Cardinals. So anyway, you saw there, Lowry had a 1.61 ERA down the stretch there for St. Louis since the trade. Really, really impressive in the second half. And he's looking to continue that momentum into the playoffs here as we're getting ready to take on Clayton Kershaw. You can take a look one final time at the pitching matchup. Taking a look at the starting lineup now for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Pretty standard stuff. Not a ton of differences from their real-life team. They have a couple new guys like Gerardo Parra and Logan Reyes at shortstop. No Kyle Seager. So here, or I should say Corey Seager, excuse me. So here we go now. Top of the first inning, it's Howie Kendrick grounding this one softly. Lowry over to field it. And the throw is in time for out number 1. Now later on in the first inning, it's Gerardo Parra up. Count is 2-2, and he's going to go down looking on the changeup right there. So Lowry records out number 2. Now it's Yasiel Puig up 2 batters later. He goes down on the fastball. Another strikeout for Lowry. He is through the first unscathed. Now top 3, it is Reyes at the dish, 2-2 count. And he goes down on the cut fastball as well. One thing I think that has been a big improvement for Lowry this year is the use of the cut fastball. And really, especially in MLB 16, the show I find is look at the play by our second baseman Colton Wong right there, robbing Clayton Kershaw of a hit. But one thing I've noticed is it really seems like in this year's game the cutter is the way to go in terms of fastballs. My good friend Jeremy, or Jersey Born, he described to me how it seems like every year, as you can see, I get a really lucky ball 4 call right there. Actually worked a 4-pitch walk off of Kershaw, and 2 of them were definitely strikes, but I'm not going to complain. So anyway, my friend Jeremy was telling me that really it seems like every year there is usually one fastball that is kind of the dominant fastball in a game, and I'm not sure what he thought last year's was. I kind of thought the 4-seamer was the way to go last year. That really was effective as a strikeout pitch for me a lot of the time. But it really seems like this year it's going to be the cut fastball, both as a pitch to locate for a strike early in the count and as a strikeout pitch. It really seems like that has been Lowry's most effective pitch so far since starting up MLB 16. The shows you can see an error there is going to cost us a run, and then Peterson's going to rope that one down the left field line, and that is going to get home another run. So a pair score here for the Dodgers as they're going to jump out to a 2-0 lead early on in the game. Lowry pretty sharp early on, but just kind of run into some trouble here in the 4th. It's Reyes up next. Now he's going to rip one to right, but luckily Jason Hayward is there, and he would make the play for the 3rd and final out of the inning. So now on to the top of the 5th. It's Clayton Kershaw back up at the dish. 1-2 count. He's going to go down this time on the changeup. Kind of missed the location right there, but with a guy like Kershaw, it's not going to matter too much. Now here, top 6, it is Jock Peterson at the dish. He is going to fly one to deep right center field, and that ball is gone. A no-doubt home run for Peterson. He launches one off of Lowry, and that makes it a 3-0 game. Now LA extends their lead as Jim just not quite as sharp as he needs to be so far, and that is actually going to do. He's going to be pulled from this game. I honestly thought, he didn't pitch too poorly, only racked up 4 strikeouts, but it kind of seemed like the Dodgers' hits came in bunches, and Clayton Kershaw just simply outdueled him. He ended up going 8 1/3 innings. We did end up scoring 3 runs, so unfortunately, it kind of left with a sour taste in my mouth just because I felt like, if I did pitch up to my caliber, we could have ended up winning that game considering we did end up getting runs at the end of the day, but unfortunately, it just wasn't to be. So the Dodgers eliminate the Cardinals in the playoffs. Now we are going to be simulating through the offseason. So I've talked about it in previous episodes, but after the season, I'm going to be playing less and less user games and simming more and more. I want to start breezing through these seasons, especially so that we can get the free agency. Lowry has currently got 3 years of Major League service under his belt, which means he's going to need 3 more to get the free agency. You can see there, we had 3 major retirees: Yadier Molina, Joe Mauer, and J.J. Hardy. That's 3 big losses. Now time for the contract offer from the Cardinals. They were trying to offer us around a 5-year, $50 million deal, but like I said, I didn't want to extend myself past free agency. I want to get there first and then evaluate my options, try to get the biggest contract possible when I get there. So I'm going to shorten this to a 3-year deal, get the average annual value up to $10 million a year. So we're going to, propose a 3-year, $30 million offer, and the Cardinals are going to end up accepting that. So we're simulating now the rest of the offseason. We're getting into spring training here. I'm going to simulate all of spring training as well. And then we're going to take a look at the roster, and you're going to notice one major improvement on this roster. It looks like some of the money that we got back from Molina, Mauer, and J.J. Hardy retiring went into Manny Machado, our old friend from Baltimore. He signed a pretty massive contract with us in the offseason. You can see he hit 6 years of Major League service time, so he was a free agent. The thing I didn't like about this move, though, is it pushed Colton Wong to the bench. I'm not sure why we wouldn't just play Machado at shortstop, considering we have Mark Jones, some guy named Mark Jones or something named Mark Jones starting at shortstop for us now. But either way, so I decided to play opening day now. I'll probably play this, and I want to say maybe like 4 or 5 regular season games or something like that, and then just try to get to the playoffs. You can see it's going to be Jim Lowry versus John Lester. Jake Arrieta, actually not the starting or opening day starter for the Cubs here, of course. This Road to the Show series was made back in MLB 15, a little bit before Arrieta completely broke out, although he did look at his stats. He's only an 80 overall in this, but he's had an ERA under 3 every single season, so it's not like it's been completely unrealistic or anything. But anyway, you can also see Lowry's number got changed to 26. I actually didn't mean to do that, but the way this game works is since Manny Machado wore number 13, and because Manny Machado is a higher overall, he gets priority when it comes to the numbers. So I didn't realize that my number was going to be switched to 26. I would have changed it, but I hadn't saved since the start of the offseason, and I really didn't want to go back and not end up signing Machado because I liked having Machado on this team. I think he's going to be a nice improvement. He's only 26 years old too, and it's not like a 10-year contract or anything, so I think he's got a good chance to be a good value for the Cardinals there. But anyway, 26, I actually didn't hate on Lowry. I think I'll probably try to go for like 23 or something with 3 in it, maybe even 33, just to kind of continue with the theme of this series since I've always had the 3 in my number, but really 26 wasn't bad. So anyway, taking on the Cubs in this episode, like I said, they won the division last year, so it's definitely a good early season test for us. See how we are. Of course, I will say this to the death, but you really can't draw any conclusions, especially from a 1-game sample. But still, definitely an early season test, and definitely a big game for us to start out the season. Lowry versus Lester. So anyway, you can see the Cubs finally getting to Lowry a little bit here. That's going to be an RBI double. So they get on the board, but it's still a 3-1 game, St. Louis on top. Now, next batter is Jorge Soler. He's going to fly this one to shallow center field. John Jay is going to be over there, and he will make the play for the 3rd and final out of the inning. Now on to the 7th. Here we go with no one on. It is Adam Lind up, and Adam Lind is going to strike out for the 3rd time today. The hat trick of strikeouts right there. 1 away from the golden sombrero. 2 batters later, it's Starlin Castro up. Ground ball right to Machado. Easy 5-4-3 double play. As you can see, we've got Matt Carpenter back at second base this season. Colton Wong on the bench, as I mentioned. I really, like I said, don't know why they wouldn't just play Machado at shortstop, but the game is not smart enough to figure that out. There was a nicely executed sacrifice bunt. I've noticed in this year's game that the AI bunt defense is a little bit better, and they often try to go for the double play ball or at least get the out at second if you don't execute it well. So that was actually a nice little play, I thought, by Lowry. But anyway, I was surprised I got sent back out there for the 8th, but I got them down 1-2-3, and our day would be done after that. So Lowry picks up his first one of the season, 8 innings pitched, 5 hits, only 5 strikeouts. I didn't really think Lowry had his ace stuff today, but it got the job done, forced a lot of weak contact, and that was all it took. So there you go. That's going to do it. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.